Welcome to the channel, Unfinished Worlds.
In the heart of Spain, 200 kilometers south of Madrid, lies a place where ambition took flight and then fell silent. Ciudad Real Airport, a $3 billion project built for millions of travelers. But today, its runways are empty, its halls abandoned, its story forgotten. It was supposed to be Spain's gateway to the world. Instead, it became one of Europe's biggest financial disasters. This is Unfinished Worlds. Episode 3, the $3 billion airport that closed after opening. Part 1, The Promise. To understand how this happened, we must go back to the early 2000s. Spain was booming. The economy was growing faster than ever. Banks were lending freely. Construction cranes filled the skyline. Across the country, everyone believed in one simple truth. Growth would never end. Every province wanted a piece of the miracle. Every city wanted its symbol of progress. A bridge, a museum, a high-speed train, or even an airport. Ciudad Real, a quiet region in Castilla-La Mancha, wanted to reinvent itself. Local leaders dreamed of turning farmland into a hub of global connection. And so, in 2004, they announced something grand. Aeropuerto Central Ciudad Real, the first privately funded international airport in Spain. It would serve 2 million passengers every year, host international airlines, and create thousands of jobs. The runway, over 4 kilometers long, one of the largest in Europe, big enough for the Airbus A380. The terminal, glass walls, marble floors, futuristic design. The message was clear. Ciudad Real was ready to take off. Initial costs were estimated at 1.1 billion euros, but soon that number would spiral into billions more. Part 2, The Building. Construction began at record speed. Banks, investors, and local governments rushed to finance the dream. By 2006, the airport was rising from the plains of La Mancha. Cranes swung across the horizon. Hundreds of workers poured concrete under the scorching Spanish sun. Inside, architects imagined a terminal full of life. Shops, restaurants, endless streams of passengers. Promotional videos promised the impossible, a new economic gateway between Madrid and Andalusia. A high-speed rail station was even planned nearby, cutting travel time from Madrid to under an hour. Everything seemed perfect. The timing, the optimism, the political support. But there was one small problem. No one had checked if people would actually use it. Ciudad Real was 200 kilometers from Madrid. Surrounded by empty fields, no major cities, no tourist destinations, no demand. Yet no one wanted to hear that. After all, Spain was booming. And in a boom, logic is the first thing to disappear. Part 3, The Fall. Then came 2008. The global financial crisis hit. Spain's housing bubble burst. Within months, the flow of easy money stopped. Developers went bankrupt. Banks collapsed. The so-called miracle was over. Ciudad Real Airport opened in December 2008, at the exact moment Spain entered its worst recession in modern history. Flights began with optimism. A few airlines, Air Berlin, Ryanair, Vueling, they tested the waters. But within months, the passenger numbers were a disaster. Most flights left half empty. Some airlines canceled routes before they even began. The airport that was built for 2 million passengers barely reached 100,000. And while the planes disappeared, the debts remained. Operating costs reached millions every year. Electricity, maintenance, security, all for an airport with no travelers. By 2012, Ciudad Real Airport was bankrupt. The total cost, nearly $3 billion. The total debt, over 300 million euros. Then came the auction. The entire airport, its 4-kilometer runway, its glass terminal, its control tower, all of it was put up for sale. For 100 million euros, no one bid. A year later, it was relisted for 10,000. An international airport, for the price of a used car. A bargain no one wanted. Ciudad Real had become a global joke, a monument to excess, to blind optimism, to the dangerous illusion that progress can be built on debt. Part 4, The Remains. For years, the airport stood silent under the Spanish sun. Its lights still worked, its security systems still blinked. But no flights arrived. The terminals echoed with footsteps of security guards. The wind whistled through empty boarding gates. Documentary crews came to film this strange monument of modern failure. They called it the ghost airport, but even ghosts sometimes find a new life. In 2019, a private company bought the site. They hoped to turn it into a cargo and aircraft maintenance hub. And then in 2020, something unexpected happened. The COVID-19 pandemic shut down air travel worldwide. Hundreds of jets were grounded. And suddenly, Ciudad Real Airport was useful again. One by one, planes began landing, not for passengers, but for storage. Rows of Boeing 737 aircraft and Airbus A320 aircraft, filling the tarmac. The massive runway, once empty, was now lined with silent planes. For the first time in years, Ciudad Real was alive again, even if only as a graveyard for grounded aircraft. Today, the airport operates on a small scale. Some maintenance companies use its hangars. A few charter flights take off each month. But the dream of being Spain's next great hub is long gone. Ciudad Real remains what it was never meant to be. A reminder of how quickly hope can turn into silence. Part 5. The Lesson. Ciudad Real Airport wasn't built by fools. It was built by believers. By people who thought that growth was infinite, that the future could be engineered, that money could build destiny. But belief without logic is dangerous. When Spain's bubble burst, it revealed a truth that still echoes today. You cannot build prosperity on speculation. You cannot replace demand with optimism. Ciudad Real Airport was never about passengers. It was about pride. It was a symbol of modernity, a statement that said, "Look what we can build." And for a while, it worked, until the bills came due. Now, it stands as one of Europe's most expensive lessons in overconfidence. A warning to every country chasing progress at any cost. If you walk through the terminal today, the escalators still move, the check-in lights still glow, but the silence tells the truth. The dream took off and never came back. Ambition and arrogance often share the same runway. Ciudad Real Airport proved that. Epilogue. Around the world, the story repeats itself. From China's ghost cities to Africa's unfinished capitals to the deserts of Saudi Arabia, the same pattern unfolds. Grand visions, massive investments, and then quiet abandonment. We build to impress, to inspire, to leave a mark. But when the dream outgrows reality, we are left with silence and concrete. Ciudad Real Airport was meant to be a gateway. Today, it is a monument to an era when everyone believed that building was the same as progress. It wasn't. This is Unfinished Worlds. Next time, we travel to Pyongyang, North Korea, to uncover the story of the 105-story hotel that stood empty for 3 decades. The Ryugyong Hotel, the 105-story phantom, because every dream has a limit. See you for the next episode in your channel Unfinished Worlds.
Thank you for watching this episode of Unfinished Worlds. Every creation tells a story, even the ones we left unfinished. Stay tuned. The next world is coming soon.